She knows how to. I've never been next to the upstairs, and then I'm talking about Silver Beach Pizza. I told him make a reservation for upstairs. It's his birthday.
It's your birthday that day?
Yeah.
Well, just so happens, I already have a table reserved upstairs for 6 people. I'm 15. I will be there.
Yeah, well, is it upstairs great?
I like that so much better than being downstairs.
I was talking in the summer when they opened the garage windows, the breeze. That's, it's so dumb. You feel like you're in the
I used to go there on Thursday night beforehand. That's always my Thursday night go-to spot. Yeah,
And this is what I said, make a question, but oh, no, yes. No.
Yeah, you should.
It's a nice view. Yeah, it's, we have a couple of people that really like that.
Well, you know, I mean, and so Mom runs. There's a one.
What's going on over there?
Huh? Yeah. Yep, that's great.
Yeah, so. You missed the arm wrestling that happened in the meeting to see who was married against him. Right? The arm wrestling match that happened between you and fight over who was
They
gonna
show
win.
so much enthusiasm. I just don't know what it is.
All right, does everybody have, I know,
No, really?
So that was your prediction for the new coach?
What? I don't have any. I'm still trying to, can't even.
That's something.
Is that the guy that's one that filled in for it? Yeah, that's actually what I said to my daughter last night. That we should.
My son who's in Michigan State thinks they're gonna be good.
we're good to go whenever you're ready.
Hi, Sharon. How are you, sir? Keep my eye on you. Sure.
So after this.
Thank you for the comments that I had asked about.
There you go.
Yeah, I got a little, I'm gonna wait for our feet on board and then I'm in the planning commission.
You know how this works. Yeah. Meetings are boring.
doing?
Good morning and welcome again to the County of Berrien. It's a pleasure to have you all here this morning. A little bit of housekeeping before we get started. As a reminder, please turn off any electronic devices that you may have or silence them during the duration of our meeting. Any materials that you wish to have distributed to the board can be done by handing to our Sergeant of Arms, which is Commissioner Jim Kern. And during the appropriate times in our agenda to address the board, please do so by going to the podium, stating your name, your jurisdiction, and you have 2 minutes to address the board. At this moment, I would like to just pause. For those who may not be aware, we had a loss of one of our state troopers last night. And I just would like to take a moment of silence to remember him and his family and his loved ones. Please join with us. Thank you. With that, we will move into our agenda. Invocation is being led by Commissioner Julie Werfel, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, which is Commissioner Jim Kern. If you wish to join us, please do so.
This morning, we come to you, Father, thankful for your goodness and love. As we do county business today, we ask you for your guidance and courage to think beyond our own small views. Help us to be genuine and compassionate so you will be in the forefront of our minds. We ask for the safety of all our county emergency workers as they tire from the weather-related stresses. Please keep them safe while out on the roads. I thank you for these hard workers and their families. Let them be bountiful in your peace. We ask this through our Lord Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Next item on the agenda is roll call.
Bell.
Here.
Curran,
Here.
Harrison,
Here.
Pinkham,
Here.
Majeri,
Here.
Ott,
Here.
Pitchford, Thalrath,
Here.
Werfel, Yarborough,
Present.
Elliott, Freeling.
Present.
Madam Chair, you have 10 present, 2 absent.
We have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from January 18th. I would entertain a motion. Motion's been made by Commissioner Bell, supported by Commissioner Ott. Is there any discussion on those minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right, minutes are approved. Communications.
We have none.
No communications. So now we come to that point in the agenda for public comments regarding resolutions. This is the consent calendar. I have had the request to remove the added resolution to be read separate. But any public comments on any of the resolutions that we have on the consent calendar, you're welcome to come to speak to the board at this time. All right, nobody's making a mad rush up there. So with that, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar, removing that added resolution. So it would just be for what we have in front of us as the consent calendar.
I'll make that motion.
All right, that has been made by Commissioner Kern. Is there support? Support by Commissioner Majerick. Any discussion on any of those? Hearing none, roll call.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling.
Yes.
Oh, you're just gonna go there. Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman, Majeri,
Yes.
Walrath,
Yes.
Werfel,
Yes.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you have 10 yeas.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And now we come to the added resolution, which is B 240115-0.
I move that we
Support.
approve that resolution.
There has been a motion by Commissioner Warfel and support by Commissioner Volrath for that honorary resolution, and that resolution is related to a certain championship that was just secured. And so Commissioner Volrath has offered and volunteered to also read that onto the record.
Thank you. Very honored to read this, and been a Michigan fan since I think 1969. And if you've ever heard a football game when Bo Schembechler was coaching back then, and the announcers on the radio, who, I mean, it made me a Michigan fan. If you could sit there for 3 hours and listen to a Michigan game back then on the radio, I mean, you had to be a fan for, I mean, you could not be a fan of those amazing blue kids. But it's my honor to read this resolution from the Berrien County Board of Commissioners. Whereas some say that 3 times the charm, and for the University of Michigan football team, that has never been more true. Whereas the team made their 3rd straight trip to the college football playoffs. First 2 didn't go very well. At the close of the regular season in 2023, and claimed the national championship in a 34-13 victory over the Washington Huskies on January 8th, 2024. Whereas despite the various challenges that they faced this year, the Michigan Wolverines became only the 6th team in college football history to go 15-0 or better in a season. And whereas during the regular season, the defense allowed an average of just 10.4 points per game and held 7 of their opponents to single-digit scores. And you think back when they said Penn State, Ohio State, Alabama, they can't beat any of those guys, and
You're
then went on and
embellishing.
kicked their butt. Whereas Michigan's offense, I'm sorry for the Spartan fans who have to sit and listen to this. You may want to step in the hall, Bob. We're not done. Whereas Michigan's offense averaged 37.5 points per game. Let's see, that's a win of what, how many? Okay. 2nd most in the Big Ten. And whereas Coach Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, and his coaching staff finished this 9th season by leading the Wolverines to a 89-25 record, 3 Big Ten championships, and of course, the national championship. And whereas for a local family, it was more than just a win. It had to be very special, an opportunity to see a family member on television screens all over the country as part of the Michigan Wolverines. And whereas number 36, Keyshawn Harris was a walk-on in 2019, first appeared during games in 2021 as a cornerback and on special teams. For the 2023 season, he had 6 solo tackles, 5 assists with 1.5 tackles for a loss. And whereas Harris, born in St. Joseph, Michigan, is the grandson of Benton Harbor's Steve Archibald, and while Harris ultimately attended school in the Lansing area, he has family ties here in Berrien County, as both his parents, Susanna and Jimmy Harris, attended Benton Harbor High School and participated in athletics for the Tigers. And whereas it is appropriate to acknowledge the well-deserved pride of this local family and the achievements of this 2023-2024 U of M season, now therefore be it resolved that the Berrien County Board of Commissioners congratulates and honors Keyshawn Harris, Coach Jim Harbaugh, and the University of Michigan Wolverines football team for their outstanding season and bringing the national championship home to our great state. Go Blue.
Go Blue.
And for those who do not know, that is actually Steve Archibald. And Steve, if you'd like, there's a microphone right there on the table.
Well, first of all, I want to just say thanks to the commission for you guys recognizing Michigan and my grandson. I too, like Dave, been a Michigan fan all my life, ever since I was a little kid. And tell you a quick story. Keyshawn was born over in St. Joe. He was born on December 19th, right before Christmas. His mom, his grandmom was in Lansing, and my daughter had went up there because she was up there for prenatal care, you know, and stuff. So she wanted to come down here to go to the Christmas tournament. Them being a big fan, and her boyfriend at the time, which is her husband now, was going to school down in South Dakota State. And they were meeting back here for the Christmas tournament. Well, that night we had a terrible storm. They closed the highway. Keyshawn's grandmama couldn't get down here for him to be born. They closed the highway. So when we went there, my daughter, she just wanted to wait on her mom. She wanted to wait on her mom. So they opened the highways and they got through and Keyshawn was born. 6 days later, which was Christmas, when they came down to celebrate, I'm being a Michigan fan, I had bought Keyshawn a onesie, Michigan, down Michigan. His grandmother came in with a Michigan State. She graduated from Michigan State. So it was funny that 6 days old, we trying to make him make a choice, Michigan State. And overall, I end up winning. So that's what got us here. Thank you.
Board alone, we have some of that going on too, between some of the different college teams within our region. So, but we do have a little bit of housekeeping. We do have to do this as a roll call. What's that? Yeah, we don't even know it's fast yet. You're right.
Good luck voting no on this.
So, with that, would you please call the roll?
Harrison,
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Majerick,
Yes.
Yes.
Walrath,
Absolutely.
Werfel,
Yes, Hale.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you have 10 yeas. Motion.
All right, so the resolution is passed. I really appreciate you being here, Mr. Archibald, and to come to receive that.
Thank you. I appreciate when you guys invited me to be able to come. I called my daughter and explained to her, and she said that they have to attend one up in Ingham County. They're going to do one to the team too.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
excited about that.
Wonderful.
You guys first.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate you being here. And I do want to just take a moment to thank Annette for all of her hard work to make this a special resolution to be able to present. Thank you for that very much. With that being said, I didn't really give you all an opportunity to say anything with the resolution. Are we good? We can move forward? I appreciated your editorial comments in the resolution, Dave. Understood. All right. Understood. All right. Well, how do you keep moving forward after such a feel-good moment? But we do have more business to do here. So we have our committee reports that we need to move forward into, and we will start with personnel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So
Absolutely.
we met this morning. We had a number of items on our agenda. First, we passed a resolution accepting a donation of $15,000 for the veterans van. So this goes along, so we're up to $25,000 for that. So that's great news. So we did pass that resolution. We approved 2 advanced step hire requests from the Health Department, one for a nutritionist and the other part-time hearing specialist. We did review and finalize our reporting schedule for the departments. And so we made some changes in that, reducing some of the burden on them. And we had a great report from Maureen Adams about veteran services. Maureen went to the great detail about the various activities and plans for the future. So, and then we also had the benefit of having our vice chair and administrator come in, and we talked a bit about the strategic plan for the health department. And that concluded our meeting. Thank you.
Thank you for that report. Are there any questions for personnel? All right, hearing none, we will move on to admin.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. First in to see us was our public defender, Scott Sanford. Scott talked to us about the number of filings and cases that his office is working on. He talked about the interaction between his statistics and the court statistics, and that the Equivant system is being implemented. So they're making those adjustments. After Scott was our animal control director, Ashley. Ashley showed us a poll that she is sending out to all the municipalities in the county. And it just basically says how important are animal services such as low-cost spay neuter, low-cost vaccination clinics, or a pet food pantry to your community. Other questions that deal with the services of the animal control to the communities and how they take advantage of those services. After that was the vice chair and Brian that came in to see us. We talked a little bit about the presentation this morning from the road department. We requested updated information. The information was dated. That was 2019 in their presentation. So we asked to see the latest data, talked to Benton Township, see if they haven't updated their master plan yet, what are they thinking? Is it still the same as it was in 2019? We do have a couple of resolutions for you the next time we get together. Resolution ending in 2122. This is to apply for a grant. It's to apply for $150,000 in grant funds with no matching. This is through the Berrien Community Foundation for the, was it the Lakeview Trail? They're still short, what, 700,000? So they're trying to get more money to finish that. So this would take care of 150,000 of that. Resolution ending in 2123. This is also to apply for a grant. And this is for Southwest Michigan Planning Commission that I think Marcy talked about. This is to apply on their behalf through the Michigan Infrastructure Office grant. And I don't see a dollar amount. Do you know the dollar amount?
No cost.
No,
There's
no cost to us.
Yeah, no cost to the county.
Very good. And that's our report.
Thank you for that.
Can I follow up on one
Yes,
thing?
absolutely.
So with the admin committee, I forgot to send a note to you all. So tomorrow, Animal Control, working in conjunction with Friends of Animal Control, they'll be meeting with representatives from Michigan State University, their program training veterinarians. Leadership from that program will be here in Berrien County. The purpose of the meeting is MSU is pushing for more spay and neuter clinics, and specifically the university is looking at mobile, a van that would be made available for the entire state. So the Friends and Animal Control are making a real concerted push to try and get that spay neuter clinic here and get it here more often than is originally being planned. So it's something that the Friends could just continue to work tirelessly to help advocate on behalf of the county and animal control. So this is something that's been weeks, if not months, in the planning process, and tomorrow is the face-to-face meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from fellow commissioners for admin? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to finance. And John?
Happy to do it. So we didn't have a thank you. Thanks for the help. So we moved through it pretty swiftly. We talked with our administrator just a little bit when continuing discussion about the roads. So, and feel confident that good decisions will be made, that everybody will come to consensus on what needs to be done. So we did that. We had a couple waiver requests today that were for, one was for the front of the court, and it was for tempered glass partition walls that just provide more privacy all the way up to the ceiling. That's done by Doubleday, and they've been doing that work throughout the county, so we felt compelled to just comply with that. Building and Grounds also trying to offer unanimity for our alarm replacement system at South County. And so we had a request for $29,556 to go with a sole provider on that, which we did. We went and got some resolutions, one resolution coming next week, and that'll be the one that we've already talked about a little bit. It's for the $18,000 a month that will be for a minimum of 6 months and a maximum of 12 months for consultation fees on the internet providing, the internet provider. And other than that, I think that covers it all. Did we miss anything? Any questions? All right, thank you.
All right, hearing no questions. John, since you're warmed up, next thing on the agenda is commissioner reports.
Go light blue. I'm ready for Detroit. I want to see Detroit go somewhere now. So
Yeah.
that might be a bigger ask, but I'm going for it.
I love it.
Go sky blue now. So let's hope that happens.
Commissioner Bell.
The only thing I have to report out on is at the Community Corrections Advisory Board meeting, we did accept the resignation from Gary Rule, who fulfilled the workforce development spot on the CCAB. So there will be an ask of this board to appoint a replacement for that. So just want to put that on the radar. And that's my report.
Thank you.
No
Commissioner
report.
Harrison.
No report. Monday, I had AAA meeting down here in St. Joe at 8:30, and then had to drive to Lansing for our judiciary and public safety meeting. And we had a presentation there by Jordan Selleck, who's the executive director of the Conference of Western Wayne County, and Patricia Coates from Oakland County, who's a 911 coordinator. And they gave us a presentation on pretty much the funding and where it started back in the 80s for 911 and how it evolved and what the funding sources have been through the years and where it's at today. And a lot of that, been on our 911 committee, and some of those things I didn't know that we learned. And those things are on the website, or I've got a copy of it if you want to look at those. It was a pretty good presentation by those ladies. So that was nice. The weather really sucked that day, but they also at our summit last month, Steve had this made up with all the counties' emblems on it.
Oh, neat.
And for the 125th anniversary of Michigan Association of Counties, they had one of these made for every county. And he was sending these back with us who were up there, and they'll be getting those out. But I think it's really interesting. If you look at each one of the counties, and it's just got that little emblems on it, but it's pretty cool. Some of them, the skiers in the water and things. It's pretty neat. So if you get a chance, take a look at it. I brought it in the house yesterday, and after having it in the car for a couple of days, and I know I was gonna bring it up here today, my wife says, "Where you gonna put that?" I says, "I'm not, I just wanna look at it. I just wanna look at it." I spent an hour just looking at all the little emblems, because I wanted to see them once, because you can't sit there for 5 minutes and see them all, but I just wanted to see each one, but because they're pretty cool. And my wife's glad I brought it with me today. I'll let Brian worry about where to hang it.
She didn't want that in the living room?
There was a couple of pictures I was gonna replace, but she wouldn't move our grandkids, so, that's my report.
We already have Annette looking. She's like, where are we gonna put it?
And go Lions.
Thank you for that.
I had MAC HHS meeting. I just do it by a Zoom, but I'm not the chair like you are, so I don't have to drive to Lansing. We had a presentation regarding housing from Housing North. And they talked quite a bit about the pilot projects and things like that. So some interesting information. And then we also had a lengthy discussion on the inmate health insurance that we had talked about here briefly last week. And I've talked to Brian and the sheriff about those discussions and what was coming out of it. In a nutshell, for all of you, basically we'll know more in June when the budget comes out. if it will become a priority of any sort for the state. There's a lot of downside to the state as they'll have to take on some expense. And they have to apply for it through the federal government. So we'll know if it becomes a priority through the budget, and then it will take 3 to 5 years to even happen, even if it is a priority. So it's not a short-term thing. That's my report.
Commissioner, last night at the State of the State, it didn't appear that there was any reference to it. We have one person in the room that was actually in attendance last night, not to put him on the spot, but Chuck, as you sat in Lansing, did you hear any reference to offsetting public safety expenses?
I didn't. I'm hoping that was just still in the works, but not mentioned as some of the highlights. So there are a lot of other things we talked about giving away free. So I hope that that would be considered.
That was a bit of me queuing it up to say this is one where we're not going to hold our breath, but hopefully the state legislature gives this one more consideration.
Well, and MAC was not holding it with a lot either, but it is one of their top 5 priorities.
Yeah.
So it is in the top 5 list for MAC to be working on in Lansing. So.
Thank you for that update.
No report.
No report?
No report.
No report.
All right, well, thank you all for the work that you do, and I think we all were sort of hunkered down in the weather that we had over the last week and a half. But thankfully, it's warming up out there, and I appreciate all of the work that you guys do, and we will wait to see if all of your wishes for the Lions pan out, right? That's right. Oh, so it will be a birthday present for you. Huh. All right. Well, now we know that's your birthday wish. Got it. So now we come to the point of administrator update. Anything for us?
Yeah, just right now I'm sitting here thinking about the Lions game, so.
No, there you go. Now we come to the part in our agenda for general public comment. Anybody who wishes to address the board, anything under the sun, 2 minutes.
Elder, Hager. But I was gonna make a comment there a while ago. I raised my hand, I didn't get called on. Harbaugh, if I remember right, that guy went to LA, didn't he?
Yesterday.
Yeah. He's gone.
That's okay.
Yeah. That's
Doesn't take away the national championship.
That's why he was able to get there, all that kind of money. Okay, I got something to complain about, I guess. There was an article in the paper last week about Michigan's tax revenue expected to rebound after a year. And what caught my eye or my ear or whatever, the economic outlook followed a year in which newly powerful Democrats passed the state's highest budget ever, 82 billion, with a surplus that has been projected to exceed $9 billion because of federal pandemic aid. As a result of the high tax revenues, the state's income tax rate was lowered to 4.05% from 4.25. That's the good news. Well, here's the rest of the bad news. The rate will return back to 4.25 after Michigan's Attorney General ruled that the law lowering the tax was meant to be only temporary. I don't know how they get away with that. And I remember when a long time ago, they used to have something like sunset laws, sunset. They would come up with a law and they'd say about a year later, they would look at it again. If it was all right, then they'd add something to it or subtract something. Well, this guy, the Attorney General, has a right to jack it up again. They're going to blow that 9 billion, buying votes. The Democrats are in there now, haven't been in there for 40 years. And then they're going to get the tax back up there. So they don't want to lose all that money. I remember the last time I had to pay that was 3.9%. Now you see it's up to 4.25. So that's what I'm complaining about.
2 minutes, sir.
Those guys up there just same We're almost as bad as you guys, spending all that money.
They're worse than us. They're worse than us. Are there any other public comments at this time? Hearing and seeing none, other business. So maybe we will have another addressing the Lions, but we have released their state Michigan and quite fortunate, and I know that I mentioned it a couple of weeks
Ago. Oh, thank you so much. I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago that Miss Michigan actually is from Berrien County. She's from Buchanan. She competed in Miss America, did amazing, was one of the prelim talent winners. And I wondered if this board would be willing to entertain the idea of doing an honorary resolution to acknowledge her and her accomplishments in the coming weeks. Okay, I will work with Annette to get something moving and then also speak with Maya and her family. Maya Shutnick is Miss Michigan, and speak with her and her family to see about a time to be able to do that resolution for her. So, all right, is there any other business?
No.
Announcements, reminders? I see none on here, so land bank at 2. Okay, so we have land bank at 2 o'clock. All right, with that, we stand adjourned.
Yeah.